Taoiseach, it's now 6 days since we first learned the bombshell news of RTE's secret payments to Ryan Tubridy. Incredibly, we're still waiting to find out the most basic information. For instance, we don't know how the entire $345,000 in excess payments was made to Mr Tubridy. How is that still the case? How can the national broadcaster, which is in receipt of $200 million in state funding annually, not know how it funded secret payments to its highest earner? They've been aware of this issue since March. 3 months. How many accounts are they sifting through looking for these payments? Are their accounts really that convoluted? The whole thing just seems extraordinary. The drip feed of information from RTE has been so bad that the Sunday Times got the scoop before the RTE news team of how payments were made at the weekend. The Sunday Times described how Mr Tubridy's agent was instructed to send a British media company, Astus, invoices which were labelled as consultancy services. There was also explicit instruction to anonymise the transaction, so Mr Tubridy's name didn't appear anywhere in the paperwork. Astus then settled those invoices at a cost to RTE of over $230,000, comprising of $150,000 for Mr Tubridy and more than $80,000 in fees. So in order to pay Mr Tubridy $150,000, RTE chose to do it in a way that cost him an additional 80 grand. No wonder the organisation is a financial basket case if that's how it goes about its business. The convoluted manner in which these payments were made and the fact that they did not appear in Mr Tubridy's published salary make it clear that the entire objective here was concealment. Whatever way you want to spin it, this was a deliberate ploy expressly designed to mask the real income of its top earner. Meanwhile, Dee Forbes in her statement yesterday said the object of the exercise was to achieve cost saving. But why, out of all of RTE's top earners, was a commercial partner tapped to pay some of Mr Tubridy's salary? Why is it so the board could pretend it remained below 500,000 when it published its figures? Not to mention the whole issue of RTE underwriting guarantees that it never thought it would have to pay. You'd have to question if it learned anything from the financial crisis. Taoiseach, you said yesterday that you had confidence in the board, which seems odd when none of us yet know the full facts about this situation. Can you clarify if you have confidence in the executive board? And do you have any idea when we'll learn how the 120,000 payments between 2017 and 2019 was made, and if significant fees were also associated with that? And do you know when we will have all the details of this hugely damaging affair? Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Deputy. I'm somebody who believes that you don't make judgments about things or judgments about people until you know the facts. It's a basic principle of justice that people are innocent and should be afforded the principle that they're innocent before they're found guilty. So it's on that basis that I say that I have confidence in the board and that I have confidence in the remaining members of the executive. Obviously, if new facts emerge that we are not aware of, that changes things. But I don't think it's right in a democracy. I don't think it's right from a basic decency perspective to express a lack of confidence in somebody before you know the facts and before you know whether or not they've done anything wrong. And I wouldn't like that approach from any of my ministers, quite frankly, Deputy. So that's the answer to your question in that regard. There will be an opportunity to question executives and board members. They'll be coming before committees tomorrow and the day after, and there'll be a good opportunity for people to ask their questions and seek answers, and I expect that to be done. In addition to that, there'll be a further statement from the board at 3 p.m. today, citing more details. And Grant Thornton is doing some ongoing work in relation to the 10 best paid RTE personalities to work out or to confirm that there were no secret or concealed payments made to them, and also to establish the facts around the payments that were made between 2017 and 2019. And I don't have those facts yet, but I do want to see them as soon as they're available.
Taoiseach, I think it's just when we know the organisation was aware of this for 3 months, they still have yet to explain how money was paid between 2017 and 2019. So I think that's where the questions arise. And just to clarify, it gives me no pleasure to stand here and criticise RTE. It's an organisation that has been responsible for excellent public service broadcasting. The vast majority of its staff are modestly paid and work incredibly hard. But this saga, I think, has really tainted the organisation. Trust with the public and with their own staff has been shattered. The government and the opposition has been misled. Incorrect information about salaries were knowingly published, and we still don't know why. We don't even know how the payments were made. If RTE wants to recover from this, then it must be transparent and there must be accountability. This must happen quickly. We're a week into this now. They've known for 3 months. The longer it takes for the detail to emerge, the more damaging it will be. And all of those centrally involved, and I think including Dee Forbes, must appear at the Media and Public Accounts Committee to answer questions about what they knew. Taoiseach, we've yet to see the board statement that we published this afternoon. I'm wondering if you or if the Minister for Media have had sight of that statement, and when can we expect to see the terms of reference for the Minister's review of culture and governance in RTE?
Thanks, Deputy. I haven't seen the statement as yet. I understand it's going to be released around 3 o'clock today. I don't know what its contents are. In relation to the terms of reference, Mr. Martin has a draft terms of reference focusing on both the governance and the culture of the RTE organisation. We would hope to sign off on those terms of reference sometime later in the week. That would be the intention, and then to have the independent inquiry, independent review up and running as soon as possible.